Today, by popular demand, I'll be doing a full face of cruelty-free drugstore makeup. Now, the drugstore has no shortage of cruelty-free makeup options. There are a lot of brands that have been cruelty-free from the start, and we're also starting to see big mainstream companies that have not necessarily been cruelty-free to begin with make that change. Now, if you've spent any time researching cruelty-free makeup, then you may know that the label has a little bit of gray area surrounding it. So as I do my makeup today, I'm gonna be sharing the information that I know that's out there about what makes each brand cruelty-free. So we're gonna get straight into it, but first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. And excuse the fact that I'm missing fingernails, I know. Okay, let me get my notes because I legitimately researched for this video. I already knew that a lot of the brands I was using have been cruelty-free, but like I said, there's so much nuance around that label. All right, so starting off with my foundation, I'll be using one of my favorites of 2021. This is the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation. Catrice is completely cruelty-free as a brand. However, you're not going to see any Leaping Bunny or PETA logos on their products. They're owned by a German company, and in Germany, animal testing has been banned since the late 90s. So it's sort of a given that they are going to be a cruelty-free company. And even with their products that are manufactured outside of Europe, they still have to meet the strict criteria according to the European legislation that bans animal testing. Now, even though they are cruelty-free, the brand is not 100% vegan. However, this foundation is. Now let's talk a little bit about vegan versus non-vegan. The cruelty-free label by itself just means that a product has not been tested by animals. It will not ever be tested by animals. However, there are a lot of people that believe if a product is not vegan, then it can't be 100% cruelty-free. Because at some point, if there are animal-derived ingredients, then an animal was potentially exploited or harmed. This is a huge part of what makes that cruelty-free label so debated about. I will say though that I'm kind of noticing more and more cruelty-free brands move toward vegan products as a whole, but that is just something to consider based on your personal preference and opinion. Moving on to brows, I'll be using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. Now, NYX sparks another interesting debate. NYX as a brand is totally cruelty-free. They are PETA certified cruelty-free, and they also do have a lot of vegan options. They're not 100% vegan. However, NYX is owned by L'Oreal, which some people may not know. Now, L'Oreal is not cruelty-free. So even though NYX products are not being tested by animals at all, the fact that they're owned by a company that doesn't necessarily adopt this philosophy as a whole is bothersome to some people. I think the idea is that the money being spent is sort of all ending up in the same place. And this is a big conversation that happened when L'Oreal bought Urban Decay as well. However, on the flip side, there are a lot of people who choose to continue buying these products in an attempt to show the big companies like, hey, this is what we like, this is what we want more of, and hopefully see the company make changes across the board. Again, this is just kind of a personal preference and opinion type thing, whether or not you consider a brand to be cruelty-free if they're owned by a company that's not. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments. I realized that I forgot to do my under eye concealer, so of course I'm gonna be going in with my all-time favorite, the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, which is cruelty-free and vegan. So e.l.f. is 100% cruelty-free. They always have been. They are completely vegan and certified by PETA. I feel like e.l.f. was one of those brands that I particularly remember taking that cruelty-free stance at the drugstore level and with products that were still so affordable. I feel like in years past, you really had to sort of pay a premium to find ethical beauty products, whether that was cruelty-free or vegan or cleaner formulas. And now that's just becoming so much more commonplace, which I'm very happy about. I am gonna quickly set my under eyes with the AOA Perfect Setting Powder. Now, technically not a drugstore brand because they're not sold in drugstores, but one of my favorite budget beauty brands as a whole. This is a $1 setting powder. And yes, AOA Studio is actually certified cruelty-free by PETA. This is not the right brush. I have said it before and I'll say it again. I feel like AOA Studio is sort of the new e.l.f. because at one point e.l.f. was only sold online. They mostly had $1 products and they were great quality. As time went on, e.l.f. is definitely still budget friendly, but they've moved away from the $1 beauty brand, and AOA Studio has stepped in and filled that void. Legitimately one of the best setting powders I have ever used. So I'm just gonna leave that there to bake because that is the only way to keep concealer out of these lines. I'm gonna prime my eyes with the Milani eyeshadow primer. Milani is double certified. They are both Leaping Bunny and PETA certified cruelty free. You can see both of those labels at the bottom of their website. And they're not completely vegan, but they do have a lot of vegan options, and on their site you can actually filter by vegan makeup. Okay, I'm really excited to dip into one of these new Essence palettes. A couple months ago I showed you the I Like to Mauve It palette, and I finally got my hands on all of the other ones in the collection, and it is sort of like a music theme. We have Dancing Green, Coral Me Maybe, Ice Ice Baby, super cute. They're 6-pan palettes. I kind of really want to go into Dancing Green. Here is what the inside of the palette looks like. So it's not bright green, it's still very, very wearable, more like jewel toned for fall. I'm gonna go into this brown first and use that as a transition color while I talk about Essence. They are actually owned by the same parent company that owns Catrice, so it's that same European standard of no animal testing. Now, what's interesting with Essence though is that as of this year, 2021, all of their new products are also 100% vegan, and they're only re-releasing products that are 100% vegan. So they're reformulating all of their makeup. Dipping into this dark green for my crease. Now, a lot of what you may find in stores now may not be the new vegan formulas. If you're looking at one of their, ooh, that's really pretty. Sorry. If you're looking at one of their older products, it may not be the new vegan version because stores are gonna need to go through their stock first, but then they will eventually be replenished with the vegan version of the items. Just look on the back of the product and you'll see a little vegan label, but all of their new releases are completely vegan. This green is gorgeous. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I find dark greens to sort of be hard to work with because they translate sort of gray on the skin, but this is really staying very emerald and true to pan. It is beautiful. This is so cute. I am like so excited to work my way through all of these palettes. Mini palettes have been getting so popular recently, and I honestly think that it's so smart because I don't need like a 20-pan green theme palette. There's probably only gonna be a handful of shades that I actually use. Like if I want a themed look, this is just a much more affordable and like space-friendly way to add that to my collection. I think I'm gonna have to go into this like money green shimmer. Let's just swatch it on the back of my hand. I dipped my finger in and it picked up so much pigment. This is so pretty. I'm obsessed with this palette. Okay, wait, I wanna do this one too. Yeah, it's more of like a grayish green. What do I want to do? Let's use both. I'm gonna go into that darker one first and just tap it. Oh, yes. Okay, going into that lighter green. Oh, it even applies pretty well with a brush too. Sometimes these satins just look better when you've got them with the oils of your fingers, but no, this is applying pretty opaque. I'm seeing the slightest bit of fallout. It is not crazy by any means, but luckily because I am baking this concealer, when I brush away the powder from under my eyes, it'll take the dark specks with it. All right, then just going into this, looks like a bone shimmery shade. That's gonna be my brow bone and inner corner. The other reason I like little palettes like these is that it's not hard to just pick a look and go with it. You're not sitting here like, oh, what shades should I use? Like everything just works well together and you've got a cohesive look. Next, I'll be doing a little lining with the Kokie Cosmetics Velvet Smooth Eyeliners. These are slowly becoming my favorite drugstore pencil eyeliners. They remind me so much of the Urban Decay 24/7 liners. So I'm gonna use Deepest Black and just tight line. So Kokie is Leaping Bunny certified cruelty free, but they had this statement on their website that confused me a little bit about their vegan status. It said, "We have not yet undergone the process of being tested to verify our vegan status." So to me, I read that and I was like, okay, well, are they claiming to be vegan? They just haven't been certified or verified by like a third party. Like they just know that they're not using animal derived ingredients. I don't know. It was a little bit vague, but at least they have the Leaping Bunny certification for their cruelty-free status. Okay, something that I want to try out as a really cool contrast to this green is use their gold eyeliner and create my wing and then do my black wing over that. And this will just kind of be peeking out behind my black liquid eyeliner. It makes sense in my head. Let's just see if it works. So this is in Gilded Gold. Okay, see how pigmented that is against the dark green? These remind me so much of Urban Decay, it's crazy. Okay, so far so good. Now Kokie is actually popping up in more and more drugstores, which I'm super excited about. They are in Rite Aid and they just showed up in my local Kroger grocery store. They have a whole wall, but I do have, I believe it's a 25% off coupon code. I was not wrong. 25% off Kokie Cosmetics on their website with the code /beauty. Not a bad discount. I also am really eager to try some more of their eyeshadow palettes because their Arabian Nights palette is probably one of my favorite drugstore eyeshadow formulas. It's crazy good. And even though these liners glide on and they're so creamy and soft, they set and stay all day. Okay, going back to NYX, this is their Epic Ink Liner. So many of you recommended this to me because it has a brush tip. It's a really nice black liquid eyeliner and thank you. Thank you for bringing this into my life. This is probably my new favorite drugstore liner for sure. So I'm gonna go really carefully up against the lash line because I wanna keep this thin enough where you can see the gold behind it. I don't think I'm even gonna bring it in all the way to my inner corner. I'm sorry if that goes out of focus. I'm just like really focusing here. I'm sorry if you couldn't see that whole process because I was so focused that my hand was like in the way, but that's exactly what I was imagining. So I'm very happy with that. I was like holding my breath that whole time too. Okay, let's see if we can do it again on the other side though. That's the real question. And that is one thing that I'll say about this liner. I feel like it's really precise. Like the brush itself is just very well constructed so that there are no stray bristles. There we go. Ah, I pulled it off. All right, quickly curling my lashes. For my mascara, I'll be using the CoverGirl Lash Blast Clean Mascara. They became cruelty-free, certified by Leaping Bunny in 2018 in a huge step and example for all other mainstream drugstore brands. Now, since then, CoverGirl has actually also been releasing a lot of vegan makeup that started with their Clean Fresh makeup line, which was vegan and cruelty-free and also free of like certain ingredients like talc and formaldehyde and stuff like that. But now a lot of their newer core releases outside of that collection are vegan, such as this mascara. So super cool to see them go in that direction and kind of pave the way for other big drugstore brands to do the same. I love this mascara because you can just keep building and building and building and it does not clump. Okay, the eyes are done. Let's move on to the face. Now, you may be able to guess what bronzer I'm going to use, or maybe not actually, because I'm using a new version. So Physicians Formula just came out with a bunch of limited edition butter bronzers in like a dessert theme. So I have all 4 of them, but these 2 look like they'll probably work best for my skin tone. We have Butter Donut and Butter Coffee. I think Butter Donut is probably gonna be best. Ooh. It definitely just smells like cake. Now, Physicians Formula has always claimed to be cruelty-free, though they did come under fire a little bit in the past year. And this is another sort of topic that is very heavily discussed when it comes to cruelty-free makeup. So it came out last year that Physicians Formula was selling in China. Now, up until this year, China did require animal testing on most general cosmetics. Now, the way that some brands got around that to like still have cruelty-free status was that the products that they were selling in China, they were manufacturing there, which got around the pre-market testing requirement. So the products wouldn't need to be tested before they were put on sale. However, China conducted post-market testing, which was basically like random checks. So even if a product had been for sale for, months or years, the government could decide, or the regulatory agency could decide to sort of check in on it to make sure it was still up to their standards, which would include animal testing. So even if certain brands said, oh, well, we don't test on animals there, China could still decide to test their products, and they didn't necessarily have a say in that part. This year, on May 1st, China ended all regulatory animal testing on most general cosmetics and makeup. So now moving forward, selling in China is not going to be like an indicator of not truly being cruelty-free. But I do know that that whole discovery kind of rubbed people the wrong way because it was sort of like exposed. It wasn't information that the brand freely shared, the fact that they were like selling in China. And Wet n Wild fell under this exact same like controversy as well. They were spotted in China. People didn't know they were selling in China, and that raised questions of whether or not their products were being tested on animals. But they had the exact same response in terms of like getting around pre-market testing. Now, this is again from all of the information that I have found online and have done my own independent reading. I would very much encourage you to check out logicalharmony.net. Tashina is a cruelty-free beauty blogger and YouTuber. She does have a channel, and she does so much legwork in finding out all of the information pertaining to whether a brand is cruelty-free or not. She finds representatives of the brand, really tries to dig deep with her questions. So hers is sort of like a master list of what brands are cruelty-free or not. Now, I do believe that in the past, if a brand sold in China, she did not consider them cruelty-free. So again, it's gray area. I am curious to see whether or not she's gonna update that criteria moving forward. Now let's talk about this bronzer though. Did we see it add color? Like very, very subtly. Ugh. Physicians, can we please get deeper bronzers? How many times am I going to have to ask? Yeah, that's like my skin color. Circling back to Milani, I'm using their Baked Powder Blush in Luminoso. This is kind of like a light coral, maybe this is not gonna go with my look today. I picked it just because it's such a pretty color, but I didn't realize I was going so jewel tone today, and this is sort of springy. Okay, if I go light, then it works. This is like a highlighting blush. It definitely has a glow to it, but it's not sparkly. See, that just kind of adds like a little bit of a highlight just on its own. But we're gonna add more. Next, I'm gonna add a dewy highlight. This is the Flower Beauty Day Glow Highlighting Glaze. Now, Flower Beauty is 100% cruelty-free, certified by PETA, but they are not 100% vegan. I believe they may have some vegan options. This does not seem like it's one of them though. But Flower Beauty is a brand that I only just started using this year, and I've really liked most of what I tried. And they've been around for so long, but I don't know, I just never really felt like they got mainstream as a drugstore beauty brand. I think because when they first launched, they were only in Walmart. Am I right about that? But now they're sort of expanded. You can get some of their products at Ulta. I believe they're also at my local Target. And this is like a jelly sort of highlighter that adds a beautiful golden glow. But glaze is definitely the right word for it. It's not really a cream feel. It almost feels like petroleum jelly a little bit. Next, I'm gonna finish this look with a new lip product from Revolution Beauty. These are a few of their new matte balm liquid lips. So Revolution Beauty is PETA certified, cruelty free. And this year in 2021, they've been working to make their whole skincare range 100% vegan. And then moving forward, they're really trying to make more vegan options across all of their product lines. And these new liquid lipsticks are vegan. Now, I do have the entire collection, by the way, so if you want me to do a swatch video and wear test, let me know. I chose sort of the 3 more neutral colors because we have so much going on. I have Nude Allure, which that might be a little pink. Nude Charm, that might work. And then Delicate Brown. Ooh, I kind of like Delicate Brown for sort of that whole full circle fall vibe. Ooh, interesting. It's almost like a cool beigey mauve color. This is called Delicate Brown. I don't know about that, but it's pretty. This has an almost like whipped texture, but it's very thin. You know what these kind of remind me of, but they feel more comfortable? The NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. Like they have a little bit of that same look, but they're not as like thick. And here is the completed cruelty-free drugstore makeup look. I am loving how this came out. And obviously these are not the only cruelty-free drugstore makeup brands. So if you want me to do another video with even more, let me know. What is your favorite cruelty-free drugstore makeup brand? And I also want to hear your thoughts on some of the discussion we had today. Tell me in the comments below. Today's shout out goes to Lori. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad. And join me over in this video next where I test out a lash glue eyeliner pen. You're gonna want to stay till the end. I'll see you over there. Bye!